Lauren here, and today I'm going to be giving you my honest review of the Beautural handheld garment steamer. Okay, so this is one of those products that you don't really think you need it, and then you try it out and you wonder how you lived without it. I'm also one of the people who doesn't mind ironing at all, but setting up the ironing board, finding somewhere to store it, all of that stuff. I live in a smallish apartment. It's a pain. And this handheld garment steamer kind of eliminates the need for that and gives you a lot more options when it comes to getting the wrinkles out of your stuff. Now, some stats on this thing. For starters, right now it is retailing for $39.99 on Amazon.com. It has 4.5 stars with 2,370 reviews. So obviously this is a very well-liked product. Basically, it's the best-selling handheld garment steamer. So it's definitely worth taking a deeper look at. In terms of power, it is 1,200 watts. So it definitely has quite a lot of power to get that water hot. The heat up time is 30 seconds. And I actually timed it, and it was 30 seconds from the time you press the power button until it's ready to actually start steaming. The manual recommends waiting 2 minutes till it's for sure heated up, and then you're less likely to get water condensation happening. But you really can start within 30 seconds, which is quite remarkable. I will say that this thing, it's quite large. If you want to travel with a garment steamer, they do offer a model that folds and has dual voltage for worldwide travel. So if that's something appealing to you, I think that version is $10 more. We will put links to both of these products in the description so you can check them out yourself. All right, so some stats on this thing real quick before we fire it up. It has the 30-second heat up, which I already mentioned, which is really cool. There is an automatic safety shutoff, which for me is really good for peace of mind. If you're not using it for 8 minutes, it just turns off. There's metal here from where you actually steam it, which is, kind of like a nicer version. There are some out there that are plastic here, but this one's actually metal. The tank to fill it up comes out like this, which is handy. And you put the water in here. I'll show you exactly how to do that soon, but this is removable. There is a switch to turn it on, which is really nice because some of these garment steamers, as soon as you plug it in, they just start going and you're not ready or you don't want it to go. This one, there's a switch, and not only is there a switch, so you press it down and it will start steaming, but there's a lock on the switch. So when you press it down, you can lock it on, and then you're not holding that switch the entire time you're steaming your garment. It just stays on, which I found really, really useful when I was steaming a whole shirt. I didn't have to hold that down the whole time. So that's really nice. One thing here that's nice also is that the power cord in the back, it swivels. If you can see that there, there's a 360-degree swivel so that when you're using this, the power cord kind of never pulls on it or anything, because this one you can actually use in any direction. So you can obviously do up and down, which is kind of standard. But what I found surprising about this, but so useful, is that you can use this sideways and you can use this horizontal like this, which you think it would leak, but it doesn't. So I tried steaming, my clothes laying on the bed or my couch, and you can just go like this and you steam. And one thing that's nice about a steamer is that it kills bacteria when you're using that really hot water. So you could use this on your couch and really kind of freshen it up. And the fact that you can use it in any direction makes it so much more versatile than one. There's many that you can only use up and down, otherwise they leak. This steamer is safe to use on all fabrics, so cotton, silk, a lot of things that you'd be kind of nervous to iron, you can use the steamer for. One thing that people do find, and I found, is that thinner fabrics, it works quite well on, but a thicker fabric, you do need to use it more. You need to spend a bit more time on it. So it's not a miracle product. It's not going to get the creases out of everything within, 30 seconds. But it does a really, really good job, especially if you're not someone who needs perfect creases and everything is absolutely perfect. If you're more a get it good and get gone, this I think is really, really something to look at. Okay, it comes with a few little accessories. it comes with this very nice water jug. This is what you're meant to use in order to fill it up. So I'll do that now just so you can kind of see. One thing that's a little not ideal about this one is that this is where you put the water in. So you pull this little rubber silicone plug type thing in, and then there's this teeny tiny little hole here, and this is where you put the water in. So you either have to set your tap to like the smallest possible stream, or you use this jug with this really narrow spout, and then you just fill it up and try really hard not to spill anything. So you close that up, and then that really is what I think keeps it from being leaking when you go different directions. And you can see there's a max line here. So you don't want to fill it up over that when you're filling it, because that can cause it to leak. So just be aware of that. All right, so that's one thing it comes with. I'm going to open up the box here and show you the other things. Obviously, the manual. There is a 90-day refund, 24-month warranty. The customer service seems really nice. They will help you if you have problems. All right, so there are 3 attachments. This one is called the fabric brush. And this is, I think, like from my reading, this is what you're meant to use if you're steaming fabric of any type and you want to like touch against it with the steamer. So it kind of has these little bristles that I think will help, you know, pull up the dust and stuff. So especially if you're doing like your couch or something, this would be really useful. This one is the lint brush attachment, and I don't know if you can see when I tested this, it definitely takes the lint off. My washing machine, when I hang dry things, tends to leave some lint on them. And to be able to like steam it and take the lint off all in one go was very nice for me. So I found this attachment quite useful. And then this one, this big thing, this is a crease attachment. So you put it on, and then you open it up like this, and you put the fabric in there, and then it's supposed to make a crease. I was trying it on like a small little crease on the edge of my shirt, and it was very tricky. I imagine if you're doing like a pair of pants, it's probably easier. So that exists, it comes with it. It's nice that there are these attachments. This one, I don't know. I think I'd need to test it more to see if I found it as useful as it sounds. But the other ones were definitely useful. And it's nice that you do have this if you want to get creases, because that is one thing this doesn't do the way an iron does. An iron, it's very easy to get creases into your shirts and your pants and stuff like that, those nice sharp lines. And this does not do that. So that is one thing to note. One thing I will say about these attachments, I will show you how they go on. So you can kind of see that there are these little, they almost look like ears to me. And then it matches up here. And then you press quite hard to get it on. And it's on really well. But then to get it off, I have found it to be very challenging, like that. So it definitely takes effort to put these on and off. And when you're using this, the metal gets hot. And so putting these on and off in the middle of like a steaming session, I was quite nervous about burning myself. I didn't burn myself, but it would be nice if these could go on and off a little bit easier, so I wasn't so worried about, injury. Okay, so now I'm going to just give you a really quick demo of how this works so that you kind of can see it in action before we wrap up here. All right, so let's give this a try. I'm going to start by pressing the power button here. And now, because I've been testing this, it's already green. It's already ready to go. If you had just plugged this in and turned it on, this would flash green until it was ready to go. Now, just as a tip, it will be ready within 30 seconds. But from my own testing, I feel like if you let it wait like 2 to 3 minutes, you won't get as much water kind of coming off onto your clothes. It has more time to fully heat up, and then it just works a little bit better. So now that here's the button, you can just press it down, and then the steam starts, and let go, and the steam stops. Or there's a tiny little switch on here. If you press down and put the switch down, then it just stays on and I don't have to hold that the whole time that I'm steaming. So you can see there's a fair amount of wrinkles here. This is a very lightweight fabric, and I'm just going to start moving this up and down like this. You can see a little bit of water is coming off on this, but not too bad. You can see the wrinkles are coming out quite quickly. I like that I can just have this hanging up, you know, on a light stand, easy peasy. I don't have to set up the ironing board. And areas that are more wrinkled, I definitely go over a couple times, but everything's coming out quite quickly, quite easily here. Whew. So I think this shirt is kind of like an ideal fabric for the steamer. It took basically zero effort, super duper fast to just kind of steam this really quickly, and those wrinkles just really disappeared really, really nicely. I had let it sit for quite a couple minutes before I started, so it was nice and hot, so it didn't even kind of sputter water on it or anything like that. The metal is definitely known to be better for not having condensation. But I think when it comes to, you know, ironing versus steaming, there are pros and cons for each one. With this steamer, I found that it's just so much faster to get set up, like do the steaming, especially if you're not doing really, really heavy fabrics. Some people have found if they had really, really heavy fabric, it still took quite a while to get all of those wrinkles out. But for me, I think this is just like, it's good enough for what I need it for. I don't need my clothes perfectly pressed, and I would just use this so much more than I currently use my iron, and it just saves, I think, a lot of time in the long run versus like setting all that stuff up and just kind of the pain of an ironing board. Being able to use this anywhere, any surface, throw something down on your bed, steam it quickly, that convenience is just sort of the really, really big appeal of this for me. One thing that I do notice when this sits and I'm not using is it does like let steam off every few seconds. I don't know if that's just left over from the heat from before, but definitely please make sure that you unplug it when you're done. Don't rely on automatic safety shutoffs. Rely on unplugging any device that's hot that you're going to leave in your home. Overall, I think this is a really useful product. I like all the features. I like the button to turn it on and off. The attachments are cool. I wish they went on a little bit easier. People do have some issues with it leaking or stopping working after a little bit of time that I've seen. So far, I haven't seen those, but again, the customer service is really, really helpful. So I definitely encourage you to contact them if you have any problems. If you get this one, remember that the link is in the description if you want to go check it out for yourself. And I'll just say in general, I found that it does take some practice. Just like ironing, you kind of have to get used to it. You have to figure out how to hold the fabric down. Some people have like actual stands that they use. I think you can buy them to go over your door, like a mat to go over your door. Don't do it against your wall, because that creates condensation on the paint, and you definitely don't want to be ruining your paint with this. So you want it to be hanging by itself. Okay, so that's my review, my honest review of this handheld garment steamer. Let me know in the comments if you think steaming is better than ironing, the age-old battle. And yeah, make sure to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this. Give me a comment if you found that it was helpful, and subscribe for a whole lot more awesome reviews.